Hi there. I came here with the intention to show up for you and for myself, yet without having a clear subject to talk about at this moment. And I'm learning to be okay with that. I'm learning to be okay with being in the moment and letting things unravel and flow through as they wish, not as I wish them to come through. Because I know for sure, at least by now, that when there's an intention, there's a reason. Even if you cannot really consciously know what that reason is. So my intention was that I'm here for now, for you, and for myself again. And perhaps this is the message that wants to come through today. How to be more in the present moment. How to accept ourselves more as beings and not as doers. I've had to process a lot of guilt and resistance over the last few days around this topic of accepting that I'm not doing as much as I've used to, not struggling as much, not hustling. And I can read through the lines, right, in other people's minds. I can read through their expectations, but I can also hear my own expectations and voices that push me and expect something from me more than I can give in that moment, or more than I want to give in that moment, that I feel like giving in that moment. So it's one thing genuinely and organically and authentically just expressing or doing something that excites you or inspires you, and it's a completely different thing doing something just because you're expected to, or you had set that standard for yourself, like, now I need to do this, or I have to produce that in order to, because this is the narrative behind, right? This is the intention behind, in order to. And usually in order to goes hand in hand with feeling worthy, feeling acceptable, feeling productive. Feeling enough. A constant need to prove we are enough. Otherwise, if we're not doing or we're not producing, we're not useful parts of the society. We don't deserve to be here. We don't deserve love, we don't deserve wealth, we don't deserve anything if we just enjoy our lives. That's the narrative, right? That's what our society says. Excitement and joy is seen as a hobby, is seen as a side thing on the weekends or whenever we have the time for it, whenever time allows for it. Our responsibilities, our families, our jobs, the household, whatever it is, our fitness routine. All these are things that makes us feel productive, worthy. I'm not saying they're not valuable, right? Of course. But it's not only that. We're not only that. But we have a really hard time accepting that we're not only that. Actually, this is really a small part of ourselves, but we have made it to be the biggest one. Doing is our existence. What we do, what we have, defines our existence and who we are, instead of our being here, now, our wishes, our desires, our need to just enjoy nature and calmness and just feel inspired and daydream and imagine our lives and how we want our life to be. These are not, these are only acceptable by small children. And for us as adults, we don't even allow these to be true for ourselves. We don't allow these things to be present in our life. We forgot how to do that. We forgot how to be just here now and just enjoy this and just feel worthy for it and just feel completely okay with that. But even now, even after all this time that I'm working towards this for myself and try to accept that this is how I want my life to be, this is who I am, this is how I am. My natural rhythm is slower than most people. My productivity is just creation and joy and inspiration and helping others. That's who I am. And sharing what I know with others. That's who I am. But even for me, it doesn't come easy many times. There's a resistance. There's still a resistance. There's still a part of me that doesn't accept that part of myself. We're made out of parts, right? You know that. We're not one thing. We are kind of a community in here and in here. Mainly in here, actually. We're fractals, right? So one part of us wants one thing, another part of us resist it or criticize it, and there's this tug of war within. And that reflects outside eventually through our relationships or where we put our focus on. So self-forgiveness and self-acceptance are essential in reaching self-trust and self-love, in creating inner peace. In creating a balance within, no matter what happens outside, good, bad, everything is neutral, and you give them interpretation based on how you feel inside. In that moment, have you ever noticed that something may be triggering for you one time, and the other time, depending on your mood or how you see yourself in that moment, feels like, yeah, not a big deal. You may not even notice it. And another time you'll be like, wow, boom, explosion of anger, of resentment, of I don't know what. Why is that? It could be the same thing. It could be a misbehavior of your child, for example. It could be a comment someone made for you. Is it a comment? Is it misbehavior? Or is it you? Or is it how you perceive it in that moment? And have you ever wondered what makes it different in one moment and in the other? So it's not all fixated, right? That's what my point is in this moment. We tend to fixate things in our mind. This is the way it is. This is how I should be. This is how I should do things. I don't know. A lot of pressure, a lot of resistance, a lot of guilt, a lot of turmoil. And then you wonder why the outside world reflects that. If you really pay attention and you're aware, you become aware at some point, and intentionally just observe a day of your life, an hour of your life, how you respond to things, how you react to things, to whatever happens. And even if nothing happens around you and it's all peaceful, how your inner world just is all, oof, something's not going well here. Let me distract myself with something. I don't feel comfortable. Self-acceptance takes time, and sometimes it may take you a lifetime, hopefully not that much. But the way to reach that is just through self-forgiveness. You just need to be forgiving with whatever it is that you're doing. Just stop abusing yourself. Because that's what you're doing when you criticize all your mistakes or your drawbacks or your ways in that you think you're not behaving in a proper way, or you don't meet your standards, you don't meet your own expectations or other expectations, And then you blame yourself for that constantly, or you're criticizing, or you're just... That's so harmful to the child within, to your body. The body keeps the score. A really nice book by Gabor Mate, by the way. So I also need to accept myself. I also need to forgive myself many times. And that's okay, that's what we are here for. Just shedding layers like snakes. Like onions that you peel one layer and then the other and then the other and then the other. And somehow more and more layers keep coming up. But it's also a beautiful process. It's also kind of you can find peace in between, and you can find balance. You can find yourself more and more. You can just rediscover yourself underneath all misconceptions, all of your personas. The more we can be in the present moment and with ourselves, in peace and harmony, no matter how we show up, then the easiest it will be for us to live a life of joy and excitement. And this is essentially what all of us want.